Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. You can't talk about success in life. You can't talk about greatness in sports. You can't talk about rising to the moment unless you talk about work ethic. And when I heard that young man Cam Ward, the Tennessee Titans #1 overall pick, say, I've grown up watching my dad wake up at 4, doing a job he didn't like. So if I can wake up early and do what I need to do for a job I do like, shouldn't be playing football. That comes from the house you grew up in. That comes from seeing sacrifice. That comes from living it. See, Cam Ward ain't just talking football. He talking about life. He talking about the same lessons I learned down in Glenville, Georgia, when I seen my grandma work her fingers to the bone, when I seen my brother Sterling sharpen me every single day, when I had to take hand-me-downs and eat what was put on the table and still go chase greatness. So when I see Cam Ward walk into Nashville, put that Titans uniform on, go out there for training camp as the face of a franchise, and he talking about waking up at 4:30, that's a whole lot bigger than just being a rookie quarterback. That's a mindset that can change a locker room, that can change an organization. And if he stay on this path, that's a mindset that can change a city. So buckle up, because we gon' dive deep. I'm about to break down why Cam Ward's words matter, what they mean for the Tennessee Titans, and how work ethic ain't just talk. It's the difference between being a bust and being a bust through the Hall of Fame doors. Gal, now let's take it back. Before the draft, before the scouts, before the combine, before the mock drafts, before all that ESPN talk, we gotta understand who Cam Ward is. Because football don't just create players out of nowhere. Football magnifies what's already in you. Cam grew up watching his dad wake up at 4:30 every morning. Think about that for a second. 4:30. Before the sun up. Before birds chirping. His pops didn't even like the job. But he still did it. Why? Because he had responsibility. Because he had family. Because men like that understand something simple. Quitting ain't an option when people depend on you. And see, when you grow up seeing that, you learn two things. Discipline ain't optional. Excuses ain't allowed. Ward carried that with him. He wasn't the five-star kid out of high school. He wasn't the one everybody in the country drooled over. He had to grind. He had to go the long way around. Started at Incarnate Word, yeah. You heard me right. Incarnate Word. A school most casual fans couldn't find on a map if you circled it in red. But Cam turned heads there. Then he transferred to Washington State. Stepped up to Power 5 competition. From there, Miami. Each stop, he proved something. Each stop, he showed growth. That journey, that's grit. That's grind. That's 4:30 in the morning, personified. And when you, the son of a man who got up before dawn every day to do something he ain't even love, just to keep the lights on, what excuse you got? Cam said it himself. If I can't wake up early and do what I need to do for a job I do like, I shouldn't be playing football. That's accountability. That's ownership. And let me tell you, bruh, the NFL full of young men with all the talent in the world, but none of that mentality. Now let me stop right here and explain something. 'Cause people love to confuse talent with greatness. But those ain't the same. Not even close. The NFL is a graveyard for quarterbacks who could throw a football through a brick wall, but couldn't wake up on time. Quarterbacks who ran 4.40 but couldn't study a playbook. Quarterbacks who had all the arm strength, all the highlight reels, all the hype, and no discipline. Talent gets you drafted. Work ethic keeps you employed. See, we done seen it before. Jamarcus Russell. Strong arm, #1 pick. Didn't want to put in the work. Out the lead quick. Johnny Manziel, Heisman winner, electric in college, didn't respect the craft. Done. Ryan Leaf, they said he was can't miss. He missed. Why? No work ethic. And then you look at the ones who built their careers on grind. Tom Brady, 199th pick. Nobody believed. Became the greatest because he studied, worked, obsessed. Peyton Manning, they said he was too stiff. He rewrote the game at the line of scrimmage. Jalen Hurts, benched in college, transferred, got doubted, and now he at $250 a man leading the Eagles. Which group you want to be in? Cam Ward, with that quote, he already telling us where his head at. He already telling us he ain't trying to be no cautionary tale. He trying to be a case study in grind. Now let's look at the Titans, because this ain't just about Cam. This about the organization that put that card in and said, with the first pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Cam Ward. Bruh, Tennessee been looking for that guy. Steve McNair been gone a long time. Ryan Tannehill. He gave him some stability but not superstardom. Will Levis. He flashed a little but clearly the franchise said, he ain't it. So they hit reset. They said, we gonna bet the house on Cam Ward. That's pressure. That's weight. That's expectations the size of the Parthenon. But it's also opportunity. The Titans rebuilding. Derrick Henry ain't walking through that tunnel no more. New faces, new vision. And they needed somebody who wasn't just a quarterback. They needed a leader. Somebody to reshape the culture. Somebody who'd walk in the building and say, follow me. Cam's mindset? That's contagious. When a rookie talk like that, veterans listen. When he show up at 4:30, when he in the film room late, when he in the weight room before practice, that shift the whole energy. Bruh, Tennessee ain't just drafting an arm. They drafting accountability. Now you'll know UNC Shay ain't just gonna talk work ethic without talking ball. Let's get into what Cam bringing to the field. Arm talent, this boy can sling it. Deep outs, crosses, seams, he got zip. Mobility, he can extend plays. Buy time, move the pocket. He ain't Lamar, but he ain't a statue either. Poised under pressure. He faced adversity at every stop in college. He don't panic easy. Leadership through example. He already showing it with his quotes and habits. Decision-making speed, NFL windows close fast. He got to anticipate, not just react. Footwork consistency. Sometimes he relied too much on his arm. Don't reset his base. That lead to turnovers. Adjusting to NFL defenses. Disguises, rotations, exotic blitz packages. They gon' test him every week. But here's the key. Every rookie got weaknesses. The question is whether they got the discipline to address Elm. And Cam just told us loud and clear, he do. Here's something casual fans overlook. Football ain't just about plays, it's about people. A quarterback ain't just throwing the ball. He's leading men. Imagine being a 10-year vet on that Titans roster. You see this rookie come in, first overall pick, supposed to be the franchise. You watch him close. Is he Hollywood or is he hungry? Is he showing up late with excuses or is he the first one in, last one out? Cam already answering that test. He the first one in. He learning from his pop's example. That set the tone. That say to the locker room, I ain't asking y'all to do nothing. I want to do first. That's how you win grown men over. Now let me get personal for a second, because when Cam talk about his pops getting up at 4:30 for a job, he ain't even like, that hit me. Bruh, I know that story. I lived that story. I seen my grandma get up before dawn to cook for other families, clean other people's houses, raise kids that wasn't hers, and then come home and still feed us. I seen my dad and mama sacrifice. That's why I never complained about practice, never complained about lifts, Never complained about running routes. Till my legs gave out. Because I knew what real work looked like. And that's the same thing Cam's seen. When you raised on that, you different. You wired different. You grateful different. Now, what's this gonna look like in year one? Let me tell you straight, it ain't gonna be easy. He gonna face defenses that disguise coverages like magician. He gonna take hits he ain't never felt before. He gonna lose some games. He gonna throw some picks. He gonna get criticized on ESPN, FSON, Twitter, everywhere. That's the league. But what gonna separate him is whether he fold or whether he wake up the next day at 4:30 and grind harder. And based on what I'm hearing, he gon' grind harder. I ain't saying he gon' be a Pro Bowler in year one, but I'm saying this. Tennessee found a leader. Tennessee found a culture changer. Tennessee found a young man who understands that greatness ain't owed. It's earned every morning when the alarm clock go off. Brew, let me leave y'all with this. Life gon' give you two choices. Complain or grind? Cam Ward looked at his pops, saw a man who woke up every day at 4:30 for a job he didn't love, and he said, if I can't do the same for a job I do love, I don't deserve it. That ain't just football. That's life. That's school. That's work. That's family. That's whatever dream you chasing. So don't tell me you want success if you ain't willing to sacrifice. Don't tell me you want greatness if you ain't willing to get up early, stay up late, and put in the hours when nobody watching. Cam Ward ready to do that. That's why Tennessee drafted him. That's why he gonna succeed. And if you listening to this, you've got to ask yourself the same question. What's your 4:30? What's that grind you willing to embrace to build the life you say you want? Because at the end of the day, it ain't about talent. It's about work ethic. And just like Cam Ward, if you ain't willing to get up and do it, you don't deserve it.